mile for the 12 miles it took. And I'm sitting there talking to the technician, and that was before I was here at CSA, but I did do the computer work for CSA, and he's telling me, you see that one there, they're not unionized, all the other ambulances coming with us. So I said, the next time that happens, I'll meet him there. My wife was there, she was following in the car, I said, I'll just go with her, I'll meet you at the emergency room. Yeah. Yes?
I do believe from experience that if you are on a gurney rather than in a wheelchair, you can get
It could be,
without that expense. I've had that experience in New Jersey, not in Long Island, but I can tell you, if you can have the hospital say you require a gurney for transportation in an ambulance, they won't charge you.
The gurney in an ambulance, no charge.
On a wheelchair, you will
Wheelchair, so,
sit up.
yeah, if you can sit up, okay. That's interesting. See, I learned something new, thank you.
$2,500 per year, not.
$2,500 per year, right, no max, no lifetime max. And the other one is an amulet. One of the joys of maturing is at some point we can't drive ourselves to the doctor. You can't take a cab, you can't take a bus, you can't take a subway or whatever. You got to go in an amulet. So that would be included here as well, $2,500 worth of reimbursement.
Yeah, and I want to mention e-hail that can be paid for, or a taxi. You can now take through. Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
There is something called e-hail. If you are eligible for the accessoride or whatever it's called, you can get on. You have to fill out a form and be made eligible, and you can go for the sum of $2.75 a ride plus a tip. Anywhere through e-hail.
Cool.
You can find this through the NTA. There's a link online, and you can also find, and then you can go for all your medical appointments. They will pick you up in a taxi, a regular yellow taxi service. And there's also something called taxi authorization. If you can call up a day ahead of time and say, I need somebody to pick me up at my house, give them the address at 10 o'clock in the morning, and they will take you for $2.75 a ride, plus whatever tip you leave. And that you can do if you're medically eligible.
Yeah, great.
In the city of New York.
Yeah.
Or any of the boroughs.
Just the
Not, they won't take you to New Jersey.
That's part of accessory.
Yeah.
But you have to apply for it separately. You have to be eligible for accessory, and then you can do it.
Yeah, there may be something similar in Nassau.
E-hail.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, what else we got? Wigs. You need a wig. You've developed alopecia or undergoing chemotherapy and your hair falls out. I have neither. It's hereditary. But we'll reimburse up to $1,000 for a wig. The politically correct term for a wig. Anybody know what it is? No. Cranial prosthesis. That's how we see the bills come in, cranial prosthesis. It's not a wig anymore, it's a cranial prosthesis. Surgical stockings, portable toilet seats, 3 pair of stockings a year, portable toilet seat a year when you get to that point. We first put this in and I figured, why do you need a portable toilet seat every year? But then I stopped and thought about it. And I said, you mean I have to wait a whole year to get another one? So, we continue the orthotics benefit. You were on your feet for 30, 40 years. You blew your feet up from being on the hard floors. You needed orthotics. Continue that. We'll reimburse up to 2 pair a year, $400 per pair. Just send us a copy of the doctor's prescription for the orthotic and the itemized bill. We'll send you back the money. Physical, speech, and occupational therapy. We used to do this based on visits. We now do it based on dollars. Medicare switched several years ago from counting visits to dollars. And by the time you maxed out their dollars, you were over our 20 visit limit. So we said, once the primary says they're done, then we'll pick up another 2,000. We would just need something showing that the primary wasn't going to pay. The other good thing that came out of the tax reform or budget is that supposedly now, but definitely in 2019, there is no longer a limit on speech, physical therapy, occupational therapy with Medicare.
As long as you make adequate.
As long as you're making progress.
No,
Yes,
progress
yes.
true. There
Yes.
is no progress standard, and there never has been. What you need to have, you need to know, a doctor has to say, unless you get this therapy, you will deteriorate or decline. But you don't have to be making
Okay.
progress. There was a lawsuit brought by people with Parkinson's disease and other chronic ailments. They won against the Department of Health and Human Services. You do not need to make progress. You just need to know.
The letter has to state.
A doctor has to say
Yeah.
it's medically necessary,
Right.
and without it, you
You
will
will
decline.
sort of have, that's the line, you will
Yeah.
decline.
Right.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay.
We're going to keep the benefit because we do also have psychological counseling in there, which Medicare has just started to cover. They didn't used to do it, but so nobody provided it. Now they will discuss end of life planning or whatever it is with you. So we've kept that in the benefit. We had a new benefit, I think, last year. Our bid to help cut down on painkillers was acupuncture. We had a great request for acupuncture. So our consultants did a review, said that a visit every 3 weeks was reasonable. That's why it's 18 visits. We'll reimburse 80% of the cost. You just need to show us either the state license number of the acupuncturist or that they've been accredited. I want to make sure that if they're sticking stainless steel needles in you, they know what they're doing. So that's why we want to make sure it's licensed or accredited. Hospital deductible is still reimbursable at 80% from Blue Cross. There's an extended hospitalization benefit for those in GHI senior care, Medicare. What it does is it extends your coverage to a full 365 days. Medicare has a deductible of whatever, $1,100, $1,200, $1,300. Then they cover for like 120 days in full. Then it's a declining amount until 180. After 180, you're on your own. The Blue Cross rider, extended rider, does away with all of those. You only have the $300 deductible, and you get a full 365 days of coverage. The welfare fund pays that for you. You do not pay that. That's why when you look at the chart of pension deductions, Medicare eligible, it's $133 per person that you're paying out of your pension every month, not $135.25. And survivor benefits, we mentioned, everything in the orange column is covered free of charge for your survivor for 5 years. After that, they have the option to pay for the benefits and continue them as long as they want to. Our actuaries come in once a year and adjust the rates. Typically, it's between $60 and $65 a month, and you get everything in that, continue with everything in that orange column. If they continue to pay dues to the retiree chapter after you die, then they get the green benefits as well. Yes?
Yes, I just want to know, can you tell me where would chiropractic come under the umbrella? Chiropractic.
If anything, it would have to fall, it would fall under the physical therapy, but Medicare generally covers it, and I don't believe it would fall under the therapy. Okay. I think I ran out of things to say. Can you believe it? I will take any general questions. If you have a personal question, I'll stick around. We're sticking around for that. If you need to verify whether your dependent is in the chapter, you can see Mark, you can see our staff. I hope you found this useful. No. Wait, were you going to say something?
I'm going to say a couple of words.
You just did. Okay. Yeah, I gotta humor him, you know? So we'll let Mark say a couple of words, and then I'll stick around, I'll answer any questions. I've got no place to go. I'm here already. I just have to get home before it rains, because I didn't want to melt.
Good morning, everyone. Just a couple of things. First of all, absolutely. Doug is just a fountain of information, and I think some of you know, we did a survey in August, and one of the responses at the end was if you wanted to share anything, and most of the positive responses were keep Doug around for longer than he wants to be. So yeah, Doug is really worth his weight in gold. So thank you, Doug. Just let me share with you a couple of things that are going on here at CSA. Let's talk money first. Everybody always likes to hear money. So everybody that was entitled to a COLA, if you notice that your pension was about $14 more than it was last month or the month before, so because of COLA kicks in every October 1st, and it's on the first $18,000 of your pension. So that happened. I know one of the questions I got here today was regarding the recalculation of pensions based on the last contract. So for those of you that are here that retired on or after July 1st of 2015, I've been in contact with Teachers Retirement System. Up as late as yesterday, we have about 700 members who fall into that category. They are recalculating 400 this month. Some of you are going to see significant increases in your pension. Those of you that are going to get it, you should have gotten a letter several months ago, several weeks ago, from TRS asking you to sign. I know it was a very confusing letter, but basically what